Good afternoon and a very, very warm welcome because it is very hot here in Horseshoe Valley, Ontario, to another Tuesdays at 2. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I come on with a different topic talking about something to do with executive career management. I've had people with me since day one. This is now episode number 138. It's quite hard to believe. But I like sharing my vast knowledge of executive career management with you, the viewer, the live viewer, and the people who are going to use it as a replay. So today's topic is very, very important. The crux of good career management is relationship management and networking. So today's topic is, what is the best way to attract an executive recruiter in me? What is the best way to attract an executive recruiter in me? So if you are ambitious and you really seriously want to manage your career and you want to rise up through the ranks, you want to transition and you want to really earn a good amount of money, probably retire earlier, you need to manage your career. And those of who's listened to me many times before understand what I'm talking about. So if anybody's got any comments, please put them here and I will answer those, or questions. Nothing to do with today's topic. It can be do with anything to do with career management. I'm more than happy to answer them as we go through this Tuesdays at 2. So if you are ambitious, and one hopes that you are, and you want to sensibly, prudently manage your career, then you need to embrace executive recruiters. So you need to connect with executive recruiters. Now, there are different types of, or different levels of executive recruiters. And there are the big six, which operate globally. And then there are domestic executive recruiters. And there are some big firms with 20, 30, or even 40 executive recruiters in offices located geographically, strategically across the world. And then there are also domestic executive recruiters who operate just within a particular geography, normally a country. So when you start building relationships with executive recruiters, make sure that they are in your area of expertise. So I see some people coming in on with questions now. What is this about? So is it live or recorded? So thank you for the LinkedIn user. Wish to remain anonymous, but it's live, as you can see, and more than happy to ask any questions that answer any questions that you may have. So embrace executive recruiters. They are the crux. They are hugely valued to your career advancement, to your career management. So you need to connect with them, but you not connect with them, but you need to stay on their radar. Don't just connect with executive recruiters and think they're going to work for you and then drop that relationship once you've landed your next challenge, your next appointment, you've won your job search. You need to maintain those relationships. This is very, very crucial. Imagine yourself and you connect with somebody and then you don't hear from them for 6 or 7 or 8 years, and then suddenly they reignite that relationship. Is that a very positive attitude, a positive strategy to have? Probably not. So when you connect with executive recruiters, and also don't expect them to get you a job, but that is a separate topic, something I talk about extensively on the videos in my YouTube channel. I am more than you go to my YouTube channel and there will be answers to that, why they don't find you a job. But you need to build a relationship with them and stay on their radar while you are in career transition and when you are gainfully employed and having a good time at your next employer, because you never know. That guillotine, that axe, that termination can come at any time, and you will need to pick up the conversation, the dialogue, and the relationship with an executive recruiter. But if you haven't spoken to them for 6 or 7 or 8 years, well, that is a negative to start off with. So stay on their radar. How do you stay on their radar? Well, I would say don't pester them. Once you build that relationship, stay on their radar by every 5 or 6 months. Send them an accomplishment. I call, as a resume writer, a STAR story. So situation, task, action, result. And stay on their radar. Tell them you're having a great time at ABC Company, but just like I always preach, you are sensibly managing your career and always looking out for your next opportunity or challenge. So keep on their radar, keep that dialogue going. It's a two-way street as well. So they may email and you say, thanks, but I don't have a job for you right now. They work on purely projects and within a strict area. So if there's a finance job, you have a finance. If you're in finance, you connect with all the finance executive recruiters. If you're in supply chain, you connect with all the supply chain executive recruiters. There's no point in you connecting with a finance executive recruiter if you are in supply chain. They probably wouldn't want to connect with you anyway, because they're very defined in particular segments, particular industries, and particular functions. So how do you connect with executive recruiters? So number one is through referrals. So ask your acquaintances, ask your colleagues who they are connected with and if they can introduce you to an executive recruiter. Relationships coming through a referral count big on everybody's screen, not just an executive recruiter. So you need to embrace referrals. Referrals are good. Now, if you have a job, just going off topic a little bit, if a recruiter calls you with a particular job, particular project as they call them, and he or she goes to talk about it and whatever, expand on that particular project, and you don't think it's appropriate to you or you don't want to move on right now, be open, be honest. But if you can refer somebody to them to help them build their talent pool for that particular appointment, that particular project, they will love you and they will remember you. So there again, relationship management. So referrals, ask your peers, ask your colleagues, ask other people you worked with maybe 10 or 15 years ago, or ask if you could pass through a university, ask alumni for their, if they are willing to refer you to their executive recruiters if you are in that particular function. So number one is referrals through a lead. Number two is, and this is what I talk about every week, I don't think there's been a Tuesdays at 2 where I haven't mentioned this platform at least 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 times, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you need to be active, not passive, on LinkedIn. And there again, how to use LinkedIn, the various, how to use it and how to build it up and whatever, is there's extensive YouTube videos on my YouTube channel. And if you go to my YouTube channel, please press the subscribe button where you will be notified of all sorts of videos that are about to come. In fact, I'm just going to shoot many next week. So LinkedIn, that's where you can also source names of an executive recruiter and attempt to connect with them. Now, recruiters are very busy people. They work in the same time zone as we do, 24 hours. They don't have 28 hours or 30 hours in a day. They have set projects. They don't work for you, the candidate. They work for the clients at the other end. So don't be upset. Don't think as a negative if they don't connect with you through LinkedIn. You send them a very pleasant message. Always send a pleasant message. Don't just press that button to connect. You need to use that connect the format there. I can't remember how many characters it is, but it has be very polite, be very articulate in why you want to connect. And hopefully they will connect with you. And then you've got that channel of communication, that relationship building, and start that relationship building from from day one. So also be active on LinkedIn, because executive recruiters, when they get a project, they go, one of their channels they go and source candidates on is LinkedIn. And if you're passive and you haven't shared anything, you haven't created content, and you have a very limited LinkedIn profile, the chances that an executive recruiter will call you are significantly diminished. So fill that profile out. And there again, go back to my YouTube channel, and there is a multitude of previous Tuesdays at 2 talking about LinkedIn, and specific YouTube videos which I've recorded for talking about the value of LinkedIn, which is massive. So you can connect with LinkedIn, and they also want to connect with you, providing you have the fully complete and active, proactive status on LinkedIn. Don't just hide away for 6 or 7 years and not do anything on LinkedIn. That is very, very bad career management. The chances of them connecting with you are severely diminished. And then there is the traditional one, which is direct. So you go direct. You send them a note. I would send them your resume. Make sure it's an ATS, applicant tracking system friendly resume, 2023 format and content, and up to date. And one way to send it to get your name above everybody else is to FedEx it, depending on where you are, your local courier, or an international courier like UPS or FedEx, and FedEx it. So put yourself in their shoes. If your FedEx envelope lands on your desk, or a UPS envelope lands on your desk, and there's a load of other manila ones, which one are you going to open first? It's all psychological. You are going to open the FedEx one or the UPS one or some other courier envelope, and always send it flat. Don't fold it, because that doesn't help the scanning machinery. So direct to an executive recruiter within your own geography. Now, if you're working, say, for instance, in the UK, and you want to come and work in Canada, rarely will they want to connect with you, because the mandate from their clients at the other end is that those people have to have Canadian experience, or UK experience, or US experience, or Indian experience, whatever that country is. They won't take people from out of country unless they really are short of talent and skill set. So direct, FedEx, UPS, psychologically, you are already on a winner if you send that envelope, spend that $20, $30 or whatever it is, pounds, euros, to send that to the executive recruiter, because psychologically, you're already proving to them that you mean business. So direct, and then always, the whole thrust of this is always build relationships with executive recruiters before you need them. So if you're terminated today, and Tuesdays is always a big day for terminations across the world, Mondays and Tuesdays are always the number 1, 2 days for terminations. Guillotine, when it comes down, saying goodbye to you, exiting you out of a company. You don't want to now panic and start building those relationships. You should have built them when you're gainfully employed, and as you manage your career, as you advance in your career. So the trick to get them to want to contact you and seek you and source you is be visible. Be visible. You don't have to just be visible on LinkedIn, but you can become an industry expert. You can speak at conferences. You can become a subject matter expert, and sometimes mandate by their clients is they want to employ subject matter experts. So anybody got any questions, topics relating to career management? Doesn't have to be related on executive recruiters, how to build relationships with executive recruiters, which today's topic is on. More than happy to answer them. Just pop it in the comments there and I will help you. I will attempt to answer it. So be visible. If you're an industry expert or you're a subject matter expert, get to conferences, go to conferences and volunteer to be a speaker. If you're a subject matter expert, those conference organizers want you, and you never know. A lot of executive recruiters within that particular industry or within that particular function do attend those conferences. So then instantly you are on their radar. They listen to your topic of presentation, and then hopefully they might trigger a connection to connect with you straight away after your topic of presentation. So relationship management. Make them want to connect with you, entice them, draw them into you. Every one of you watching today, and I see there's quite a few people watching on YouTube. Every one of you watching today has a vast skill set that's much wanted by executive recruiters if you are a senior manager and above. So you need to be visible, be proactive in your career management. Don't be a dodo and go and hide for 6 or 7 years and then suddenly become active on your career management because you were terminated, you were let go, you were exited, and the guillotine came down. So refreshing this, turning it around to a different way. An executive recruiter, they specialize in particular functions or industries. So connect with only executive recruiters in your industry or in your functions. Now, the higher you go, the more importance it is to build relationships and keep those relationships going. And the higher you go, the more important it is to get on the radar of the big global companies, big global recruitment firms. The smaller ones, yes, the domestic ones, yes, they have C-suite and they have the next level down. But the big ones, Korn Ferry, Spencer Stuart, Egon Zehnder, Russell Reynolds, Boyden, and a couple of others, they have the big ones that are very, very enticing, well paid, new challenge, and they may involve some international work as well. So hopefully that has informed you. Anybody got any questions to do with executive career management or executive recruiters? Pop it in the comments below. I'm more than happy to answer them. And I'm more than happy to help you. Another way I can help you is I offer you, everybody watching today and everybody watching on the replay, a free, no obligation, no sales pitch resume critique or LinkedIn audit or both. So free resume CV critique or a free LinkedIn audit or a combination of both, because I'm passionate about helping people. I don't have to sell. I love working with people to make them understand the strategy and the theory behind good executive career management. So free, no obligation resume or a CV critique or a LinkedIn audit. And as I've mentioned several times during this Tuesdays at 2, I have a vast, some over 500 videos on my YouTube channel. And if you go to my YouTube channel, please do me a favor and press the subscribe button and also press the bell button where you will be notified of future videos to come. So thanks to the anonymous LinkedIn user for asking a couple of what I was going to talk about, etc. Hopefully you found it intriguing, and everybody else listening to it live today on other platforms and then listening to it in the replay or maybe on YouTube. I'm more than happy to answer any questions, just because I'm calling it quits in a couple of minutes, going off live. I'm more than happy to help you in any way I can. I'm really passionate about helping people, business professionals, and those who aspire to be business leaders maximize their career management, understand what career management, the value it brings to you and everybody else who manages their career. So I will call it quits. Let me see what next week's topic is. I'll be back at 2 p.m. next week. So this is a very intriguing topic, and I'm going to get some comments on this one. My age, I am 50, is stopping me from landing a new position. My age, and I am 50, is stopping me from landing a new position. Now, that's a very interesting topic that we can talk for 24 hours on. And there's many various positions on that. And there's also many various perceptions. So I will talk about that perception next week in my Tuesdays at 2. Anybody got any questions? If not, I'm going to call it quits today. I will be back Tuesday at Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, when I would be talking about I am over 50 and I am finding it challenging to get my next position. So have a great week. Always spend some time each week in managing your career. The rewards are great. Have a great week.